And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Mexa. Having a great time with Bill Varney, surf fishing expert. And speaking of Corey Sandin, you're going to hear a lot of Corey Sandin in April because Rick's traveling. I'm traveling a bunch in April and May. So Corey will be our he was missing in action here in March, but you're going to hear a lot of Corey here with either Rick or myself coming up in April. So stay tuned for that. And Corey, I just posted on our Facebook, Instagram page a great shot of Corey shot by Gary White yesterday at his seminar at the Fred Hall show. So Corey's, of course, in the MC booth selling MC sweet baits for a deal.
Oh, man.
A deal, like $1 a piece.
I can't get over that. And just, can you imagine, I mean, how busy every one of us are getting ready for the Fred Hall shows? Could you imagine being the guy that has the most popular swim bait around, that everybody is coming to the show to buy because it's on a deal, and the months before the show knowing that you have to hand pour every single one of those pre the show? I can't imagine.
So, and if you're going to Cedro Sport Fishing, who's right next to us there at the Let's Talk Hookup booth, they've been busy. Oh, boy, signing up. I mean, they're almost sold out for the season. They've got a lot going. But go by Corey's booth and load up on MC swim baits. And go check out his seminar today So at the show. So
it's just yet another reason to go to the show is you get to do that. You know you're going fishing on your Cedros trip at whatever time. You know, I'm going on a June trip. You get to go talk to the man from MC Swim Baits and say, hey, man, I'm going. I really want to target calicos, or I really want to target a big one. You know, help me out with some colors, some sizes, what size lead heads and weedless hooks. And Corey knows everything about those baits. The thing that I like so much is, you know, you want to fish this weedless hook, but, you know, instead of this spring, go by that spring and, you know, alter it this way and it'll fish better. And he'll always give it up. Corey's the man.
Yeah.
And, we're really excited. I can't imagine how busy he's been this show.
Indeed. Now, Bill, you're doing some seminars today, right?
I am, but before I say that, I'd really like to thank Corey for covering for me down in Long Beach when I was on my unexpected vacation there.
That's right, the big surf seminar.
The big surf seminar. He did a wonderful job. And I also want to say that, you know, besides Cedros and so many other places, Corey is an expert on surf fishing and bay fishing and all kinds of things. So if you have questions about those things and what baits to use in the surf for that or in the bay and stuff, be sure to ask him.
Yeah, he's the man.
Thank you so much.
He is indeed the man. And so you'll be doing a seminar today?
Yes, I'll have a seminar today at 2 o'clock on the Mammoth Lake stage, which is in the Bing Crosby Hall. I'm getting good at these halls.
Right next to Fastlane Kayaks.
Right next to Fastlane Kayaks.
Yeah, and, of course, right across from Cedros Kayak Fishing, too. So,
that's right.
Cedros Kayak Fishing, which Jeff's been booking up like crazy at Cedros Kayak Fishing. He said that he sold out our April trip. Our June trip still has a couple of openings. So if you want to go to Cedros Kayak Fishing, don't wait because that books up very, very quickly.
I had a group of guys come to the store the other day. They all bought Tranks 400s. They said that they had listened to the show, not kayak fishermen, but they heard about how, you know, when Jeff was on the show, heard about doing the Ponga thing and just said, well, we like Ponga fishing and we love the idea of our guys just having the whole thing. So we're going to go book we're going to go just, I think they had a group of 5 guys. They were just going to go book the whole thing and just go fish Pongas and do their thing because they like the idea of having a real small, intimate group. And,
4 people and you get your own room and you fly in your own plane. I mean, it's such a great deal.
I mean, how fun is that? Your 4 buddies? I mean, come on.
I don't know how Jeff makes any money, but I think he does it for the passion. Because it's like such a great deal.
I think he's just worried about covering his cost because he loves that island and he loves going fishing. He loves hosting people for fishing. I think really that's it. I think he's literally just covering his operational cost and bringing fun and love and fishing to that island. And he's a good dude and a cool operation.
So go check it out, Cedros Kayak Fishing, which is right across from Fastlane, which is right next to the Mammoth Stage, where you'll be doing your seminar at 2 o'clock. Boy, I mean, it's like a lot going on there for sure. a lot of stuff. And what about the prizes? Let's talk about these prizes we're giving away today, because this is a stellar event here.
Reminiscent of the Christmas Spectacular, all the things that's going on today. Well, if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, just an amazing opportunity. We're giving away some great things at the end of the show today. First of which, again, this is going to a caller that is going to go to the Del Mar show today to pick up these fantastic prizes, which include a beautiful custom Bill Varney rod. And, Bill was mentioning that you're having these rods, wrapped by hook, line, and sinker up in Solana Beach, in Santa Barbara, and beautiful seeker blanks, just custom built exactly for the surf. What Bill's talking about: light line, long casting. We're talking over.
You brought the rod in this morning.
It's over a $300 custom rod that somebody's going to be walking away with. So an unbelievable rod. In addition to that rod, someone is going to get a brand new handmade Anza knife for our good friends at Anza Knives, built right here in San Diego. A custom, again, it's a work of art, a handmade knife from the folks at Anza. In addition to that is going to be 2 tickets to come to the show today. We're going to get to pick up your fantastic prizes. So an awesome opportunity for somebody at the end of the show today. If that wasn't enough, a lucky caller is also going to win a $50 gift card to our favorite Point Loma Seafoods right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. Just an opportunity to come score an awesome lunch, and, $50, you can be getting a party lunch, platter, dinner, having lunch for a bunch of folks, whatever it may be, a $50 gift card to the freshest thing in town. That's Point Loma Seafoods. If you want to get your shot at all those great prizes, it's been a very busy morning, but there's going to be plenty of opportunity in the second hour for you to get through. 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090, or reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090.
Speaking of kayaks, we're on the kayak subject again. Our Islander Kayak Mothership trip in June, we'll have one spot left. So if you want to go, don't hesitate. Just go to our website, letstalkhookup.com, go to the shop page, and grab that last spot on the Islander kayak trip. And then also, I got to mention, you're going to hear a lot more kayak fishing in Alaska coming from Whalers Cove Lodge. Whalers Cove Lodge has bought an entire fleet of Hobie Pro Angler Mirage Drive kayaks, and now they've hired a kayak guide, a famous kayak guide in the Northwest, to guide all these kayak trips at Whalers Cove Lodge. So they have a whole package of kayak fishing now at Whalers Cove Lodge. Perfect, because it's such beautiful, pristine area, very calm seas. And so they've got a kayak guide, a kayak program. Go to our website, whalerscovelodge.com, and check that out. That's really cool stuff.
You couldn't pick a better destination to do that than Whalers Cove. Just because of the protected waters that they have up there. You can be fishing salmon and halibut and rockfish and all those things in flat glass water from a beautiful boat, and you launch right there. You literally leave your room and it steps down. You hop on your on your Pro Angler, and you pedal out and instantly into great fishing. There's just nobody else could do that. They don't have the water or the close proximity of fish to the lodge like they do at Whalers. That's
salmon,
really
halibut, the whole thing there, right there at Whalers Cove Lodge. So that's going to be amazing.
That's really cool. Great idea.
For sure. All right, phones are packed. Let's jump into it.
Roy in San Diego. Thanks for hanging in there with us, Roy. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Great.
Great. Rick, I did buy one of those SLX the other day, Thursday, when I first got there and stuff. And I need to get it, or I'm putting some Spectra on it. Because the spool is so small and there's no little arbor on there, are you using like the electrical tape, or using the finger tape for it when you spool it up, or when you're going to spool it up or whatnot?
It's a great call. We always like using that Flex Wrap blue finger tape. Just take a piece that's 3 or 4 inches long, cut it in half, and then just spin it around the arbor of the spool. All those, new nice aluminum, spools that are in those reels are real slick, and Power Pro itself is a slick material, so just a revolution or two of that blue finger tape that's, self-adhering around the spool, and then tie your line to that.
And what do you recommend putting on that SLX?
There's lots of great options. What I have on mine is that 30-pound Power Pro, and I was using that Super 8 Slick, the new one, the version 2.0. They have it in that moss green color, which is my favorite for something like that. So if I was picking a single favorite, it's that 30-pound moss green Super 8 Slick. But there's lots of good options that would work. I'd fish anything from 20 to 50 pound as far as the braid size on that reel. And I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be a bad reel to just fish as your 6, 8, 10, 12-pound mono reel either. But if I was picking 30-pound Super 8 Slick.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning, Roy.
All right. How about we jump back into him and talk to Rich? Rich is calling us from Bradley this morning. Hi, Rich. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Rich.
Howdy.
Morning, Rich.
Hello?
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
I guess we have an issue with Rich, so we'll try and get back to him. So let's go ahead and jump back in the phone.
Sounds good to me, man. How about Mike in Rosemead? Hey, Mike, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Sorry, Rich. Snooze, you lose. Mike here, I guess. Hey, I was just kind of curious. I know both you guys, Pete and Rick, you're very busy this month with all the shows and stuff. I was just wondering who's going to be the first one absent after all this is all finished. That I know you guys are going to take off and go fishing somewhere.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I'm going to be gone. Let's see.
Here.
Yeah, we're going to Lake El Salto a week from Tuesday. I'll be gone Saturday, the day before Day at the Docks, but I'll be back for Day at the Docks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the boss has to do what he has to do.
Gotta
right?
go, man.
Buddy.
Field research.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, Bill, I got a question for you, or a comment. I know in the morning it's kind of less, there's no breeze or anything, but generally you're either going to have breeze coming from you, facing you, or from left to right, or right to left, or maybe in a Santa Ana condition, you got the wind or the breeze blowing into your back facing the surf. So can you kind of comment on the breeze conditions and what do you like to fish best?
Well, normally, of course, in the summer, we can surf fish all year long, and that surf fishing is great. But most of the year, we have, very calm conditions, maybe a light offshore in the morning, and then windier as the afternoon comes, and maybe 10 to 15 knots would be usual wind in the afternoon at the beach. My only suggestion really about that is, first of all, whether it's windy or calm, it doesn't really affect surf fishing. The biggest thing on surf fishing is tides for sure. But the trick on the wind and the current is, the bigger the surf, the windier it is, the shorter your leader, and the heavier your sliding sinker. So if I'm going down after work and it's white capping and I really want to get down there and catch some fish, I'm probably going to fish a 3/4 ounce or maybe even a 1 ounce sliding sinker. And the reason for that is that all surf fish feed on the bottom. If you look at a lot of surf fish, they have a barbel on their chin and they rub that through the sand as they're going along the bottom to try to feel movement down there and find food. And if your rigging is too light or your leader is too long and there's a strong current or it's windy, your bait's going to be up by the surface and all the fish you want to catch are going to be swimming underneath there. So wind-wise, don't be too worried about it. We've had good days on offshore winds. We've had great days on onshore winds, so the wind is not really relevant, but you always want to keep your rig on the bottom.
All right.
Great
Good
question.
tip. All right.
I got a quick one for Bill. The line that you use, is there an advantage of using a Power Pro type line over a monofilament? Do you have a preference on one versus the other?
I absolutely do. As much as we love braided line, I mean, it's such a sensitive line. We always joke about you can tell if a fish is swimming by your bait. And really with braided in the surf, after using a little while, you can, as you're reeling in, you can tell if you're going over sand or touching a rock or by kelp, or it's an amazing thing. But the problem with it is there is no stretch to it. And if you were, let's say, tuna fishing or yellowtail fishing, you get bit on the boat and you set the hook, you let the fish go for a nice long run as it peels line off your reel, slows down, and you reel it in. In the surf, you have very short runs, whether it's the water sucking out or the fish running, and it doesn't allow your reel to really kick in and your drag to work as much as it would, let's say, on a boat or a pier. So we like to use monofilament because it's got stretch in it, and it allows the line to stretch and in short durations, whereas braid, because there's no stretch, it will pop the hook a lot of times out of the fish's mouth. So if I'm fishing bait, I'm using monofilament, normally 6-pound test line. But if I was to fish a Lucky Craft or a Rapala or any other type of lure, I could tie directly to braid or maybe a very short top shot, because if I'm using a Lucky Craft and I have a halibut, it's really got 9 hooks in it. I don't really have to worry about that coming off my line. So in the surf in general for bait, we're going to use monofilament because of the stretch, and then braid for lure fishing.
Awesome.
All right, very good. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Good question, for sure.
Hollis and Santee is up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Hollis. Welcome to the
Hollis.
show.
Morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Great.
I'll get my questions in here. So technically I might have like 2 or 3 of them.
Good.
So, what's the best way to catch live bait and how to use it when you're surf fishing if you're not going to bring it with you? What's some better advantages to using artificial lures? I'm more of an artificial lure guy when I hit the beach. And then what time does the show close today? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Hollis.
So you can come pick up your rod and your knife, your hands and knife?
Yeah, exactly.
6 p.m. is the answer to the show
Opens
closing.
at 10 and closes at 6.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
Those are great questions. Live bait, wow, we could spend about a 15-hour show on that, catching it, keeping it alive, and all that. Probably the easiest bait to catch would be sand crabs, of course. They're going to be the most prevalent. There's literally trillions of them out there. And you'll find sand crabs here in Southern California. There's basically 3 varieties, ones you find above Santa Barbara that occur in very cold water. Santa Barbara to about Cedros Island, where they occur at about 60 degrees. They come up to the surface at 64 degrees. They begin to lose their shells. And then the sand crabs that we find down in places like Cabo and the East Cape and Mazatlan and Hawaii and stuff, which are a third tropical variety that occur all day long. And they're almost a white crab. They look very similar to a sand crab, have longer legs, but they're kind of white rather than the gray that we see up here. So catching the sand crabs, probably my biggest tip on sand crabs, especially early in the season like this, is you want to go look under piers. Every pier here in San Diego and Orange County and Los Angeles County has sand crabs under it. The reason for that is that as the water rushes around the pilings that hold that pier up, it deposits soft sand behind those, and that's what they're looking for to dig into, and they'll dig and they'll basically hibernate down in that area. As the summer goes on and the water warms up and they begin their spawn, they spread out along the beach, and eventually in August they're all along all the beaches at both high tide and low tide areas. So there's ghost shrimp to pump here in the bays. There's, of course, worms to find or get at your tackle shop. There's a lot of different live baits out there. And the reason we use live baits when we go to the next question about artificials is that if you look at all the California state records, there's only one, which is a pending record now, that was not caught on live bait. So it's by far the best bait to use out there. When it comes to lures, we're generally fishing halibut with lures. That's the bottom line. You can certainly try to catch a corbina or a spotfin croaker or go perch fishing with grubs and other plastic lures or rapalas or X-Wraps and all those different things. But in general, we're going to use live bait, and it's really the most productive in the surf.
Yeah. You have a crab catcher that you invented and made, and that thing is awesome. Tell us about it.
It's a super lightweight, small sand crab catcher, all stainless steel. Just clips to your belt so you can walk down the beach. You don't even notice it's on there. And because it's stainless, it cuts like a hot knife through butter. It really is easy to scoop it up. You rinse it out really quickly. Your crabs are all the sand and everything gets off the crab. You just pour them in your bait holder and you're ready to go. For so many years, we use these large crab nets, crab rakes, and use those on the beach, which work fantastic. Promar makes them. They're an excellent product.
But you got to drag them around.
Exactly. And, of course, rather than dragging it around, I would leave it on the beach. And because you're walking down the beach fishing, I look back and it'd be maybe 100 yards down there.
Right.
I'd either have to run down there and pick it up, or some kid walking down the beach would start walking away with it and have to yell and get it. And as a matter of fact, one time the lifeguard threw it in the back of his truck thinking it was trash and started driving it away. And I had to go on a journey to get that one back.
Yeah. So these crab catchers, you actually have them on sale at the Fred Hall Show.
I have them on sale. They're $5 off, $15 or $5 off. That's it.
These things are great.
They're going to last you a lifetime.
And here's the thing about sand crabs is once you figure out what they look like in the sand, you'll catch all you want.
Absolutely.
Right?
There
it's
is
so
literally
obvious
trillions
where
of them
they are. Yeah.
It really is.
And they're the best bait.
They're the fantastic bait, and especially May, June, July. Those are the months where they come up to the surface, and the fish have been waiting all winter long.
Exactly.
So like it's us during lobster season, right? So like we've been waiting all summer to have a lobster, and all of a sudden the season's available for us, and the first day everybody's out there getting lobster. So it's the same thing with sand crabs for these fish, and they gorge on them for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And they're super bait, and they're free.
Free, yeah.
I love it, man. This is
great stuff. Yeah, indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Okay, let's find out what's going on with our fishdope.com report.
You got it. The man, Dave Hansen, is standing by. The Gamakatsu Octopus 4X hook is not only just another squid hook. Nothing penetrates deeper and holds tighter. The offset beak point is actually sharp and forged from a high-carbon steel. It's available right now. Every captain has their own tricks for how to rig a squid, but there's no question on what hook to use. Gamakatsu hooks, you can get them at selected tackle stores. You can get them today at Fred Hall Show. It's a great opportunity to buy Gamakatsu hooks. They are simply the best.
Buy two, get one free on Gamakatsu? No.
Yeah, just a great deal on Gamakatsu. Yep, no doubt about that. That was a Long Beach thing. That the free pack was from the manufacturer. Unfortunately, Gamakatsu's not at the Del Mar Show.
But they're still on sale.
There's lots of different retailers. I know we've got them. I'm sure Turner's has them. Some great opportunities to buy Gamakatsu hooks at a really good price. But let's talk to the man, your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen, is on the line.
What's up, Dave?
Well, good morning, Pete, Rick, Bill. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Your voice sounds good, man. I got to watch Dave in action yesterday in his seminar, and, man, I can't believe you have any voice.
There's nothing like a Dave Hansen seminar.
Well, thank you, Pete. Yeah. I try to be as entertaining as I possibly can, and every once in a while I even talk about something that's actually relevant to what we do out here.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Pete. Hey, guys, kind of interesting what happened the last couple of days while the show's going on down there below the Coronado Islands. Those guys found that yellowtail, and it seems like it wants to get on the boat. They're biting down there, man. The Liberty had a phenomenal day yesterday. I mean, you got to remember, it's just the end of March, and we're catching yellowtail again. The weather looks absolutely spectacular here today. I'm standing here in my room in Del Mar looking out at the ocean, and there's not even a ripple on the water. There's barely even a swell touching the beach here. Bill, it'd be a great day to be surf fishing. But as far as the weather goes, as long as this weather stays good, and it looks like, I'm looking at buoy weather this morning, we got a little bit of rain maybe on Wednesday and Thursday, but it doesn't show much for the wind. So as long as we don't get the wind, we're going to have some good coverage. Maybe those guys will stumble into that yellowtail or sea bass over at Catalina. I know there's some coastal sea bass going on. It's super secretive right now where it's at. But if you look, a couple of the guys are doing fairly good on that bigger grade sea bass that live on the beach here. So if you guys know any hot spots that you like to fish, I would definitely get out there and give it a shot through the tides, because that bigger sea bass is making an appearance here on the coast. And in the next few days, I'm sure you'll start to see more about it on the internet. But I know some of the guys that are really good at it are doing very, very well right now. So you want to keep an eye on that. And once again, it's all weather relative. As long as we have some nice weather coming up here, you got a really good chance of getting some of those fish. And I heard Brian Woolley talking about the rockfish. All the rockfish spots are covered up with that red crab. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense. We have cold water. The kelp is supposed to be growing in the cold water, but almost all the kelp beds along the southern bight here, we don't see any kelp right now. It doesn't make any sense. But my buddy Pete Grosbeck, Steve Lasley, told me a couple of years ago, throw all the history books away. Nothing makes any sense anymore. So all I can say is you just got to go fishing.
And that's what's cool about your seminar is you just encourage people to go fishing. And, of course, you don't go fishing without fishdope.com. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space. And you just go see them at the Fred Hall Show, and they'll give you special Fred Hall and Let's Talk Hookup deals. And, Dave, how do we find you?
Well, my website, the amount of people signing up for the website is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. No complaints. Everybody's super happy with the information that's available on the website. You guys can go check it out at yoursaltwaterguide.com. I will be at the show today. I'm speaking at 11:15 and then again at 2:30, and that'll be it for the Fred Hall Show this year. If you guys show up at that 11:15, Kelly Girl will be there. We'll be having a little promotional deal for the website. We're going to have a huge discount for anybody that shows up at the show and wants to sign up to my website. And Pete, Rick, Bill, I'll see you guys over at the show in a couple hours.
I need to know how you
We'll be there.
I need to know how you can have a huge discount on the most affordable fishing information.
Exactly.
On the $5. How can you have a huge discount? Like it doesn't cost anything anyways.
Thank you. We're going to give you guys the most unbelievable deal you've ever seen. If you sign up for a year, you're going to get the whole year for $40
Wow.
at the show.
Wow.
What a deal.
You need to learn to charge more, Dave. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it. Great report. We'll look forward to seeing your seminars today at the show.
All right, guys. See you in a couple hours.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Dave. Speaking of the show, Bart Hall. This is it, Bart. The last day.
Yes, it certainly is. What a great show you got going. Too bad Bill doesn't know anything about surf fishing.
I know.
I'm learning.
What a bunch of information. You know, Bill, I caught my biggest corbina, though, on an artificial out of up there in the Central Coast, just south of Santa Barbara there. So that was fun.
Absolutely.
Long time ago.
Absolutely. And, I've got a couple pictures of on a tiny 1.5-inch grub, some 8-pound corbina. So
Hey, they eat the fly very, very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
big time.
So opportunity feeders for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to Frank Sylvia about that yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
Corbina love fly fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, today is the last day of the Fred Hall shows, and it's of course to get a chance to see Bill under other circumstances. Nobody got to see him in Long Beach, and this is a great opportunity. If you want to see him, come on down. This is it. And I talked about it before. I always talk about it. It's bittersweet for me. It's the end of the 2019 show season. It will never be here again, and we start on 2020 as of tomorrow. But this is a day from 10 to 6 where we can all come together and have a good time. It's been a great show so far. Every day has been off the charts, even though there was some traffic problems yesterday. It didn't seem to matter. Fishermen, when they want to go somewhere, they get there, and it's been really great.
Yeah, and that we talked about it earlier in the show about the live band in the back there with kind of that whole outdoor food court. A great time with the great weather we're having here to go enjoy that. Are you going to sit in on the drums again today?
Just as a promotional, I'm going to play one song today because the professional photographer wasn't there and didn't get a picture, and everybody says they want it, so I'm going to do one more.
All right, cool.
And that'll be it. But that was fun. I haven't played in a long time, and I guess I was okay.
You did great. It was awesome. Yeah, that band is really fun too.
Hey, Bart, can I make a request?
You certainly can.
Stairway to Heaven?
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll see if they know it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Bart, today, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., right?
10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and it's a day filled, just because it's the last day doesn't mean it's any less than the other 4. It's filled with seminars, filled with activities for the kids. It's going to be a day when a lot of people come out, a lot of families come out. The boat room yesterday was packed. People going on. This is the most beautiful selection of boats we have ever had at the Del Mar show in the entire 43 years we've been there. And if you get an opportunity, Pete, I know you don't usually go to see the boat, but you should walk up there and see it.
Oh, no, I saw him. I walked up there 2 or 3 times, Bart, and checked it out, and it is great. The other thing I'll mention, too, is San Diego County Ford Dealers has a phenomenal display. And have you checked out that new Ford Ranger?
The new one, I have. It's
unbelievable.
It
it's right there across from the Mammoth stage. That is a beautiful truck.
Yeah, it's really good looking.
Yeah.
The blue
they're
color
really
looks great.
pushing that. The big one there caught my eye, and then he said, no, come here and look at that Ranger. Yeah, it's fantastic. And they've got more trucks out by the Paul Bunyan Lumberjack show, too.
And they're giving away free hats, free Ford hats. Really cool hats.
They're great. I know that you're one of your sponsors, but one of mine for a long time too. And those guys really do a good job, and they really care about fishing. A lot of those dealers are hardcore fishermen, as you know.
Oh yeah, so. Mark Wheeler from Encinitas Ford was there yesterday and buying stuff up and checking out his Ford. So, indeed. Hey, Bart Hall, Fred Hall Show, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. today at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. We'll see you there.
See you there, guys.
All right,
See you, Bart.
Thanks a lot. Let's go ahead and jump back on those jam-packed phones.
Well, jam-packed they definitely are, buddy. How about this time we talked to Dominic, and he's calling us from Temecula this morning. Hi, Dominic. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Pete. How you doing?
Good.
Great.
Dominic, good morning.
I have a question for Bill. I'm going to be down in Silver Strand all this summer, and I'm planning on surf fishing, and I was wondering what water I'm looking for, like rip currents, inshore holes.
Good question.
Great questions. And in the past couple of days, love it. Have had some great reports of silver strands.
Okay.
Couple of 17-inch perch coming from down there.
So a hot spot.
So hot spots. And not only is that good from the size of the fish, but the fact that these fish are now filling in back down in this, what was previously some very warm water. So here is my first tip for you. When you get down there, it was certainly pick up a tide chart before you go down there. A graphic tide chart is very helpful, where it shows on the calendar the highs and lows and when the high tides and low tides are. When you get down there, be sure to look at it and see when the biggest low tide is when you're first there, and then go out and walk the beach. Just leave your rod at home. Take the dog for a walk, or your mom for a walk, or somebody for a walk with you, and walk along the beach and look for any anomalies in the sand. In other words, where there's troughs or holes or any type of structure. Find that structure, and let's just say, take a trough, for example. It might be 3 feet wide and 10 feet long, or 100 feet long and 3 feet wide. Find that, turn around and look behind it, and line it up with something that's permanently there. So don't line it up with the motorhome, but the red house or the third pole down, and then wait for high tide, go back and line yourself up and fish right where that hole is. So do a little research in advance. Find where the holes and trough structure are, and then go back at a higher tide or medium tide when those are covered with water and fish there, and I guarantee you'll be successful.
There you go. What great tips.
Info,
hey,
man.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning, Dominic. Good luck down there.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls and more great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Here to tell you about our friends Jim and Mary and their incredible crew at Poway Valley Collision. I hear it all the time. Hey, I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, and you were right. Mentioned you guys, and they gave us the VIP treatment. Fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them now, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And I'm not fooling. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, and Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. I had my car repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3/4-day open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3/4-day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half-day, 3/4-day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Captain Art Taylor of The Searcher. Celia and I and everyone at Team Searcher would like to thank all of our customers for a successful 2018 season. Are you searching for an affordable fishing adventure from 1.5 to 7 days in length? The Searcher has an outstanding crew, great food, air-conditioned cabins and galley, and an RSW system to preserve your catch. Our 2019 schedule is available now. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call our office at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Phones are packed. They want to talk to Mr. Bill Varney, so let's jump into it.
You got it, man. Well, let's try back to Rich, who was hanging in there earlier from Bradley. Rich, we got that phone dialed back in. Good morning.
Well, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, buddy. Good morning.
Awesome. I can't believe I got back through. What a great opportunity to talk to Bill. You know, Bill gave out some awesome inside baseball on halibut and adjusting to the conditions. And so with that in mind, if you want to fish the moment and you be prepared for shifting over to halibut when the conditions change like he was describing, you're going to be carrying some gear around. And I'm wondering, since Bill has done this so much, I'm sure that he has developed systems for handling his gear so he doesn't have to turn his back on it on the beach like a sand crab thing and have it maybe disappear from the pelicans and the seagulls and stuff like that, and have all that stuff at the ready to make those kinds of adjustments. I'm hoping maybe he could kind of share some of that with us. And the other thing is when you do land that halibut, do you have a gaff, or what's your technique for getting it onto the beach?
That's a great question and a great point. Yes, I have an assistant. I'm followed by a Humvee, which carries all of our things in a trailer. No, I'm just kidding. Light line surf fishing. So we try to go as light as possible. When I see folks on the beach with a big cart that they got at Harbor Freight and it's full of tackle and all that, and they're trying to pull it across the sand and they're all sweaty and it takes them 20 minutes to go 50 feet, I know that not only not going to catch anything, but it's too heavy. So you're right. If I'm going to be fishing in the medium tidal period where there's a lot of water moving and I'm bait fishing, and then I'm going to say, when we get up close to high tide or near the slack low tide, I'm going to be halibut fishing, I need a second rod for that. I could theoretically use the same one, but I'm not. I'm going to use a stiffer rod with a little higher test on it, so I'll have a second rod with me. And when I have that, I'm usually going to bring a small sand spike that'll fit in my back pocket and be able to just stick that in the sand and put my rod in there while I'm fishing in front of it and then pick it up and move on. For several years, there was a system I think it was called the Second Hand, which was a belt that allowed you to have a rod that was kind of on your back in there, so you had two, and whoever was making those has gone out of business. I've had hundreds of people ask me about those, and if you go on eBay, I think they're on there for $200 or $300. They were probably like a $7.
Wow.
That's your G to make us a new one.
That's right. So it's really important to prepare for surf fishing before you go to the beach. And what we do is we tie up half a dozen leaders or so of different sizes and put them on a little leader holder. We carry maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 sliding egg sinkers, a pack of hooks. We don't need a lot of equipment down there while we're on the beach. We don't get snagged a lot. We don't
and that keeps
break
you
off
mobile,
a lot.
though. That's the key. Is you don't want to carry around a bunch of stuff. You got to be mobile.
Exactly. You don't want to be anchored to one place because the fish are moving and the fish are schooled up in specific areas.
Indeed.
So we're ready to move on. We want everything lightweight as possible.
There you go, Rich. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, let's jump back into him. Talk to Doug, calling us from Montebello this morning. Good morning, Doug. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
I got 2 questions. Would a cold snapper work inside the surf? And what happens when the current's just really ripping from here to Kingdom Come?
Well, yes, lures like a Colt Sniper may work. What we find here in Southern California is something like a Colt Sniper has not been as effective as we would find if we were fishing on the Pacific side down by Cabo San Lucas or down in a place like the East Cape, which will allow us to get a longer cast and, of course, larger fish there are looking for a lure like that. Many of the lures that are used up here in Southern California would be anything from a plastic grub, a swim bait like Corey swim baits, or a Rapala X-Wrap. Lucky Craft, lures like that in the surf are common there. So the Colt Sniper is something that we could use, and as I said, it would be used in an area where we have larger fish, Cedros Island on down, and it's going to give us a longer cast when we're casting into the wind.
Okay, and what about current?
Current is a real thing that happens every day at the beach. You're going to find in the summertime that the current goes from the south to the north, and then in the wintertime when all our storms come out of the Aleutian Islands, it goes from the north to the south. Most people who are surf fishing would cast out, and that current will grab their line, and before they know it, it's up on the beach. And, of course, if you can't see your line, you don't know that, and you're certainly not in the strike zone. So just as a simple example, here in San Diego, when the summer comes, our swells come from the south and push the water from the south to the north. I would actually look at about a 10 o'clock spot. So rather than casting straight out, so I'm fishing at a lake or in the boat or something, I'm always casting straight out for me. I'm going to actually turn at the beach and cast at about 10 o'clock, which is up into the current. And then I'm going to allow my line to fulcrum in front of me. And as soon as my line gets to where I am, it's straight out for me. It's just like fishing the boat. You always want to keep your line in front of you. I am going to slowly walk down the beach at the speed of the current to keep my bait in front of me, always reeling up my slack. I always want to be tight to my sinker. And then when I see my sinker up on the sand and maybe I'm 30 feet down from where I started, reel up, walk back to that spot again, cast to the left at about 10 o'clock and follow that same pattern. That's the exact pattern that bait is following for the fish at the end of that area.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. Lou calling from Fullerton up next on Let's Talk Hookup.
What's up, Lou?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Hey, just want to say, nice seeing all you guys again. Get to see you about 4 or 5 times a year, but get to talk to you guys on the phone quite a bit. And Bill, I'm glad you're doing a lot better and you sound upbeat.
Thank you, Lou.
And yeah, it's really great. Give Christina, a hug for me. And
I will.
We'll be talking to you guys. Hopefully before the next show, which is next year. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That was fun, Lou.
All right, Lou. Good to see you at Del Mar yesterday. Thanks a lot for the call.
All right, let's jump right back in when we got packed up phone calls. Arnie in Vista's up next on Let's Talk Hookup. What's up, Arnie?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How we doing today?
Great. Good morning.
Awesome. Man, a couple questions for Bill. It's great to see you, Bill. I'm glad to see that you're nice and healthy. You're looking good. You're getting better.
Thank you, Arnie.
You betcha, buddy. The question is, a lot of my friends, you did those 2 seminars in South Carlsbad last year, and that was awesome because, hey, not often I get to change my clothes and just run 10 minutes down to the beach to go fish because I work in Car Country Carlsbad. But, yeah, a lot of my friends down in San Diego were wondering, hey, they would like to see a seminar come down further down to San Diego. I don't know, maybe the Strand or something like that, or OB. Have you planned to do anything like that?
We do. We have probably 9 seminars, maybe 10, coming up this summer, and they benefit CCA. So we ask for a small donation. Of course, that's donated to CCA. We provide all the bait and all the instruction, and in the morning, coffee and donuts. What more could you ask for?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we go down on the sand. We have a short seminar, go down on the sand and spread out. And then me and my good buddy Ken and Brad and other folks that we fish with, we spread out among everybody and we answer all your questions. So it looks like this year in October, it's October already? In June, we'll be at Oceanside, and we'll have a on-the-beach seminar there.
There you go.
Nice. And then the very first weekend in August, it'll be on Friday night. There'll be one at 6 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning at South Carlsbad State Beach. So we're getting all those dates together now. We'll have them in about a month on our website under the seminars tab.
FishTheSurf.com.
FishTheSurf.com.
And then seminar tab, and then you'll have them all up there.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they fill up very quickly. So please, when you see them on there, we allow everybody to sign up 2 weeks before each event. Get on there, sign up as soon as possible.
Yeah, they fill up quickly.
They sure do.
Indeed. All right, Arnie, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, let's jump right back in. Talk to Jason. Jason's calling us from Marina Del Rey. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning, Jason.
Question about live bait fishing off the beach. Do garden grubs that I keep finding in my garden, would those be a good bait? They're pretty fat. And then the other question, you guys ever use any kind of floats to kind of keep sardines or squid up towards the surface if you're targeting more surface fish in the beach?
Couple good questions there.
Good questions. You wouldn't believe how many people ask me about those grubs in the garden. It cracks me up.
Earthworms.
No, they're like a white
grub,
white
grub.
about the size of your finger.
Oh, yeah.
That's about the diameter of a small hot dog, maybe.
Yes.
And they're the
I've
most
seen those.
bizarre looking things. And if you step on one and squish it, it's full of like a milky type of substance.
Do they work?
I'm a gardener.
Yeah.
we have not had luck with those working, although Fred Oakley, the guy that I used to work for and taught me so much about surf fishing, used to use those and snails out of the garden to catch calico bass at San Quintin, and he said they were like the most incredible bait you'd ever use in your life.
Really?
Really.
That's funny.
So no, they probably don't work. It doesn't mean that you can't try them and you can't find a way for them to work, because almost anything will work if you do the right thing. Of course, we've seen tuna caught on a corn cob, so
yeah, you never
that
know.
works.
Depends on how hungry they are.
But floats is a really good question. Now, up here in Southern California, we don't normally use floats. Floats are very, very common in two places, particularly tropical areas. Hawaii, where we use them, and down at places like Rancho Leonero. And let's give you an example of the use of a float down, well, really in both of those areas. The reefs down there are a sinker lover.
Yeah.
If you use a sinker or you let your lure float to the bottom, if you don't have your dive gear on, your line's going to break and you're going to lose everything. So in order to keep our rig off of the bottom, we'll use a float. And so we use those clear floats that you fill full of water. We fill them about halfway full of water. We put them on our line, then a swivel, then about, if we can have it, about the length of our rod of a fluorocarbon leader. I'd use about 20-pound fluorocarbon and a hook on the end. And then you can use a sand crab from down, let's say Rancho Leonero, for example, a sand crab, which will dig around the rocks down there, or you go up to the fish cleaning booth at the end of the day and they'll chunk up some leftovers for you up there and you can use those. You throw that out over the reef and it's suspended just above the reef so it won't get snagged, but allows the fish to come right to it. And I'm telling you, right in front of the bar at Rancho Leonero in the evening before dinner, you can get the entire crowd revved up watching you catch pargo and triggerfish and all kinds of stuff right there.
That's cool. Good questions. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about we jump back in and talk to Tim? Tim's calling from Long Beach this morning. Hi, Tim. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, first off, there's only 339 days until the Fred Hall 2020 show season begins.
Yeah,
awesome.
That sounds great, Tim.
Okay. So now, this is ever since I was a young lad fishing my way to school, I noticed there were two kinds of surf fishermen: those that liked to get their feet wet and those that didn't. Would you find one of those more productive than the other? And I was one of those guys that liked to get my feet wet, but I would always wear booties in the surf too.
Yeah, which is probably a good idea if the water is warm and there's a lot of stingrays. Wear some booties so you're protected. I fish in both ways. If it's wintertime and the water is cold, I am not in the water, and there's no reason to be in the water at that time of year. And my buddy Ken here always makes fun of me about wearing my Levi's and my tennis shoes, and I don't get wet until I've got the big fish, and then it's irrelevant.
Yeah, you don't care.
No, I'm going to get down next to the edge of that water or up to my knees if I have to get that thing to shore. So in the wintertime, no. We normally fish 2 hours before high tide to 2 hours after high tide in most spots in the winter, and we are up on the dry sand. We're not a long way from the water, but we're up on the dry sand. Remember, 90% of the fish are within 60 feet of the sand, so you don't need to wade out any distance to get the casts that you need to get them there. When the summertime comes, and of course we're fishing both low tides and high tides and all that, and it's warm outside and the water's very comfortable, we love to stand in the water. And we're not up to our chest down there. You know, we're to our knees and to our waist at the most. But one thing to always remember when you're surf fishing and you're in the water is that fish like Corbina, well, let's just back up for a second. Fish in the surf got big by being smart. A Corbina that's 20 inches long is about 13 to 15 years old, and it got that age by being smart. It's not like a tuna that grew to 400 pounds in 5 years, or a Dorado that's 20 pounds in a year or so. So they got smart by being wary of things that are around them. So if you're fishing and you're standing in the water, you want to be as quiet, and you don't want to move your feet, and you want to stay as stable as possible and fish around you.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Good question.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky couple of callers have some serious prizes coming their way. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
G'day, folks. Damon Olsen from Nomad Tackle. We're the tackle company from down under, making lures that catch fish everywhere. We've got an incredible range of gear that's catching a heap of fish in California right now. You'll hear us say crafted by experience a lot. It's because I've spent 20 years running Australia's biggest offshore charter operation on the Great Barrier Reef, and it's that hard-won knowledge that's gone into designing an amazing range of lures and tackle that are up to the toughest challenge. I design everything we make to catch more fish and work perfectly straight out of the box. I designed the patented auto-tune system on the DTX Minnow to ensure that the lures track straight, swim super fast and deep all the time. The DTX 200 dives to over 40 feet at 12 knots, and it's already proven itself as the must-have wahoo trolling lure with the long-range fleet. Our Buffalo Flashfall jigs are catching monster tuna and come rigged and ready with serious hooks. We've got everything you need for tuna, yellowtail, wahoo, and any other species you can dream of. So check us out now at nomadtackle.com and find your nearest dealer in Southern California right now.
One of the dream trips for most anglers is Alaska. There are so many lodges. How do you make a choice? It's easy. Choose the one most Let's Talk Hookup listeners return to time after time. Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, and the finest charter captains in Sitka. All for the ultimate value. One visit and you will understand why nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. Sitka is famous for some of the best runs of salmon in Alaska. And if giant Alaskan halibut is your target, the expert captains at Kingfisher Charters know the hot spots and can put you on a fish of a lifetime. Plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod are there too. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. It's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except tips. It is truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. All right, the last day of Fred Hall show is upon us. Man, do we have some great prizes that we're giving out today. First, the winner of a $50 gift card to Point Loma Seafoods, a fantastic spot. You are so stoked. Hollis in Santee. And then the winner of the grand prize, which again includes a handmade Anza fillet knife, a beautiful knife for our friends at Anza Knives, a Bill Varney custom beautiful rod, surf fishing rod, and 2 tickets to the Fred Hall show today, where you're going to pick up both those prizes.
At the Anza booth and the Fish the Surf booth. Yeah.
That is going to Brian in Westminster. Guy, congratulations,
Worth the drive
Brian.
down, Brian.
You are so stoked, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah, indeed. And thanks to everybody that called. Thank you, Bill Varney, for all you do. You do a great job with our bi-monthly email blast. Thank you for all that effort.
You're so welcome. Love doing it.
And fishthesurf.com, and at the show today, give us the lowdown.
Absolutely. We'll be at the show. We're right next to CCA, right in the middle of the exhibit hall, which is a very last hall that you come to, and I'm looking forward to everybody's great questions and your pictures and your suggestions and all that. We love that. And then remember, you can find all kinds of information about surf fishing on fishthesurf.com. Got 30 or 40 or 50 articles on there. I've had over 400 published articles now, so we'll get all those up eventually. It's got all kinds of tips for you. Tackle-wise, if you want to see what we use on the beach, surffishtackle.com. And lastly,
you sell tackle at surffishtackle.com.
We sure do.
Specifically for Southern California surf
and
fishing.
Only the stuff we use,
yes.
Period.
Okay.
It's limited to that.
The rods, too, these beautiful rods.
The rods are on there, and everything
really nice.
that you need is on there. Rods, reels, and sinkers and tackle and stuff. And then really most importantly, we're going to have these upcoming seminars throughout this summer. We'll have that up on our site, fishthesurf.com, under the seminar tab in about a month. And those will be in May. It will be Crystal Cove. June, it will be Oceanside. July, we'll take the month off. August, we'll go up to South Carlsbad State Beach. The weekend after that, Carpinteria. And then it looks like we may put something together for Halama. And we've been invited up onto the Vandenberg Air Force Base. So we may get something up there.
Sweet. That's pretty cool. All right, Bill, we'll see you at the show. And, of course, at fishtosurf.com. And
really fun,
thanks
Bill.
for all that. I want to remind you, if you're going to the show, be sure to spin the Rollo wheel. Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea, big fundraiser for Rollo with huge prizes. And, of course, they're going to be giving all that away today. The grand raffle, you still have a chance to get in on the grand raffle. And if you spin the wheel, you'll win not only great prizes, but also grand raffle tickets. So be sure to go spin the Rollo wheel, and go by and buy some great products. I believe they're like right next to Terrafin, the Rollo booth, which
correct.
is right next to Katmai Lodge, which is right next to Rancho Leonero. If you go there, you can get some great deals on trips and things like that, and buy the grand raffle tickets today from the Rollo booth. So be sure to do that. And thank you to Adam on the other side of the glass. Even Adam's coming to the show today.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah. So you should be at the show, too, there. Sign up for our Maui Jim Sunglass giveaway at the Let's Talk Hookup booth and more. And next Saturday, we'll be back in the Mighty 1090 studios with Rob Sanford from Hydro Hoist. And next Sunday, the one and only John Ireland from Rancho Leonero. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you at the Fred Hall show today and right back here next weekend on the Mighty 1090.